it's about putting a smile on everyone's face, that whole idea. And that's what's in this book. And I rhyme it over and over again. That anytime, any way I found a rhyme to get that message out there.
Would you like to read something from the book?
Yes. And I start out talking to children who fortunately have good experience. Many or most of you who are reading this have been brought up with love, respect, and bliss. Your family and friends have been supporting you in all you are and all you do. You and those around you get along with relationships that are loving and strong. But often, when we turn on or read the news, it causes anxiety, concern, and the blues. There are people who are not enjoying each day. They're not able to live their lives our way. We find out what is happening here and there and want to bring solutions everywhere. So that's basically, the idea in the book that we should all be born to live a life of peace and joy, whether we are a girl or a boy. It goes on with that message. And one of the messages also that's in there is the idea that when somebody else is not being nice, that we really have the choice, instead of, being mean back, of giving them some positive advice.
Yes, very hard to do, but actually it is a wonderful way of diffusing anger. And that's, if you drive on Long Island, you know about diffusing anger or attempting to do that. Let's get on to the, I'm sorry, do you want to read another piece?
There's two other things that I,
All right, go ahead.
in terms of this book.
We have time.
Okay, so this book, just the end, what we want today for this world to increase is to create a planet covered with peace. But I actually wanted to get back to this book for a second.
Go ahead.
New versions are coming out for children who really have trouble expressing themselves because they have some hearing issues. So there'll be a couple of different versions of children with, with very special needs who have problems.
More difficult problems.
Yes.
And more specific problems.
And, yes, and, for example, when you want to express how you feel, and then you start to turn your wheel. So you get the idea, a child who's sitting. Yes, we're going to do something like that. And it's also coming out with, because as a speech therapist, when I was working on vocabulary, we would take different subjects to help the children, body parts, things around the house, the furniture, appliances, etc. And the actual next book that's coming out is occupations. So it's all rhyming and talking to children to, give them an idea of vocabulary words, lawyer, accountant, etc.
And also, kids learn by rhymes. So this is really a clever way of teaching vocabulary. I remember the times table, which were very sing-song, and that's how you remember them. There are some things that I cannot remember unless I do that little rhyme or that little sing-song. So it's definitely a good way of teaching. That does answer my question. Usually I ask authors, what's next? So what's next is your
following up with that one.
Follow-up.
Yes, with all different topics.
And all of these books are available on your website?
Yes, and they're available on Amazon.
Good.
And I joined an authors organization.
Is that Long Island Authors and Writers Society?
Yes. And
a great organization.
Because of them, I have actually made a speech at a graduation at a school. I have been an author invited to several schools where I get to read the books to the children and make the books available to the parents and teachers. So it's really been a very special experience that they've helped me, get it out there. And,
right, exactly, exactly. Now, do schools buy sets of your books?
Sometimes,
And,
it depends.
Because as a speech pathologist, there's probably a speech pathologist organization, and that's a way to market your books, to go through your professional organizations, and these are
very good
definitely
idea.
worthy of, their interest. So I write mystery stories for kids, and it's very difficult to find a venue, especially in these days of Common Core, and although I do have lesson plans on my website.
Children love mysteries.
And children love, but to convince the teachers that this is the venue to make literature interesting with all the pressures they have has not been easy. So you self-published,
Yes.
and you said you went with Legworks, and how did you find the self-publishing process?
They're so helpful. I would show them the words that I wrote. They had a wonderful editor. Somebody in my school recommended Illustrator, so she's done a few of my books, and then Marion Pickman. And then my girlfriend's daughter is very artistic, Emily Glenn. So, I've had help, because that's what makes them look,
Yeah, they are very attractive.
the way they
very
look,
attractive.
right? And I've just been finding this legwork team very, very helpful, just the way they call me back right away with any other suggestions. So it's been wonderful.
Yeah, I expected that when I self-published, I expected that I wasn't going to get as much help as I wanted to on producing something that, because I felt I needed the advice, producing something that was up to industry standards. And I found that the companies I dealt with were very good about that. So it's changed. Now when you self-publish, you can produce a very good product. And marketing, is this a marketing tool?
No, but it's another example of how I just want to get happy feelings out there.
When you cook and turn over your food, use this gift to stay in your good mood. Very, very nice, very cute. And that's marketing. Marketing is all those things we do to make our books attractive and places we go. And what's your best advice for someone who has a good idea and they don't know how to get a book out of a good idea? How did you start? What was that thing that pushed you over the edge and said, I'm going to publish?
Well,
You read your book on self-esteem.
yes, I read it as a papered version, and I don't even know if I thought about it being a real book until, I think I mentioned before, I was at that exercise class, and this woman had used this company, and it just, it was like a spark went inside me. Mine can look like a book. And my school was so supportive. A lot of teachers bought them, and the PTA, when they had a book sale.
That's all you need. You have somebody buying your book.
Yes.
That's it. You're on your way.
They were so wonderful, to me, and some parents, because they knew me, I worked with their children. They also wanted copies. So, it was just a great experience. And actually, that was a long time ago, about 8 years ago, I'm okay. And then I've just been busy through the years. And then I retired about 2 years ago.
And now you can really write.
And so now I have the time, and
Well, we look forward
I'm
to
loving it.
the next installment. And I think you've done a wonderful job.
Oh, thank
helping
you.
kids.
It's such a pleasure
Helping,
being here.
as a teacher, helping kids is one of the most important
I
things.
want to get these messages out there.
So thank you, Paula Groothuis.
Thank you very much, Linda Frank.